Welcome to Biology 360 YouTube channel. I wish everyone a happy 75th Independence Day. In this video, we are going to start with Chapter 1, The Living World, from the unit Diversity in the Living World. As we all know, all the lines of biology NCERT is truly important. You have to go through all the lines. But in this video, I am going to give a view of important points that you should note. Okay. So first of all, never skip the introduction. Here we come up with a point. The ecological conflict and cooperation among members of a population and among population of a community. So we know that cells makes up tissue. Tissue makes up organ. Like that, organism makes up population and population makes up community. Okay. Next we'll go to next topic, what is living. In this topic, through different features, we are going to differentiate organism into living and non-living. Basically, there are four features: growth, reproduction, metabolism, and consciousness. First, growth. So, twin characteristic of growth is increase in mass and increase in number. Okay. All multicellular organisms they grow by cell division, but you have to note that cell division will also occur to replace the lost cell. And in majority of higher animals and plants, growth and reproduction is mutually exclusive event. Majority, not all. Okay. For majority of animals and plants, we have different mechanism for growth and different mechanism for reproduction. And growth can occur even in non-living organisms like mountains, sand mounds. Here, the growth is from external, but in living one the growth is from internal. This is the difference of growth in living and non-living. Okay, next we'll go to second one, the reproduction. So fungi reproduce by asexual spores, and yeast and hydra reproduce by budding. Planaria reproduce by regeneration. The fungi, the filamentous algae, and the protonema of mosses, this is very important. These three multiply by fragmentation. Okay, there are many questions you will come up with this point. The fungi, the filamentous algae, the protonema of mosses multiply by fragmentation. When it comes to unicellular organism, reproduction is synonymous with growth. They both are same event in them. Reproduction is a feature through which we can differentiate living and non-living, but there are few exceptions. The exception are mules, sterile worker bees, and infertile human couples. They cannot reproduce. So the 2 points we have seen, the growth and reproduction are features that helps us to distinguish living and non-living, but they are not defining because they have some exceptions. But next 2 points, the metabolism and consciousness, they have no exception and they are defining feature of all living organism. So metabolism. There are so many chemical reactions that are taking place in our body. So all these conversions are known as metabolic reaction, and the sum total of all the conversions is known as metabolism. Okay. So if we take a metabolic reaction in the body, and if we do it outside, it is not living. Okay, but it is truly a living reaction. If inside our body there is a process known as digestion. So if you are going to demonstrate this digestion in outside the body, it will not be a living one, but the reaction is living reaction. So this is a defining property, because from prokaryotes to eukaryotes, from unicellular to multicellular, everyone has a metabolism. And next one is response or consciousness. So we all respond to the external stimuli. That is a defining feature. So the response can be of physical, chemical, or biological. And if you come to the last point, human being is the only organism who is aware of himself. That is, we have self-consciousness. Consciousness, therefore, is a defining property. Here I will leave you a question for which you should comment in comment box. So, self-consciousness is a defining property of all living organism or not? This is the question. You have to comment your answer in the comment box. We see patients brain dead, and all their mechanisms are took over by missionaries. So they are living or non-living, they are living persons. And if you come to the last few lines of this page, biology is the story of life on earth. Okay, it is a story of life on earth. It's the story of evolution of living organism on earth, and all living organism in the present or past or future, we are all linked by sharing the same genetic material. Every one of us have either DNA or RNA. Okay, we share the genetic material with our ancestors and our future generation. Next topic, diversity in the living world. You will be amazed and baffled to see the different varieties of diversity around you. So there are 1.7 to 1.8 million species that are known and described. So we know that when we explore a new area, we will come to find a new organism. But even when we explore an old one, we will find new organism. And there are processes called nomenclature, identification. Nomenclature is the process through which we name an organism. Before naming an organism, we should know the characteristic of an organism to which it belongs. That is known as identification. For nomenclature, the principles are laid by ICBN, that is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature for Plants, and ICZN, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature for Animals. And for naming, we have few rules. In that, we name each organism with two words. The first one is generic name and the second one is specific epithet. We give two words, right? That is known as binomial nomenclature, and this is given by Carolus Linnaeus. Here are four lines or 4 points or four rules that you have to keep in mind before naming an organism. So, whatever be the origin of the organism, we have to keep the name in Latin, irrespective of their origin. And the first word denotes the genus, and the second word denotes the species. When we are writing it, we have to separately underline it, and when we are printing, we have to italics. The first word denotes the genus, start with a capital letter, and the second word will be in small letter. Okay, these are 4 points. Many of us will focus on the first four rules, but there is a fifth rule given in the next para. That is, we have to write the name of the author in the end of the biological name. Who is an author? An author is a one who describes the organism. For example, Mangifera indica is a scientific name of mango. Mangifera indica Linn. Linn is the author, Linnaeus. He is the one who described the organism first. So we will write his name in abbreviated form at the last of the biological name. Next come classification. So there are diverse organisms and we cannot study each of them. So we need a classification based on some easily observable character. So if you go through this paragraph, there are many categories given. Here is one question. Alsatians. We know what we are talking about. Do any one of you know what is Alsatians? I don't know until I googled it. Alsatian means German Shepherd. So we are talking about a dog. Okay. Then there is a characteristic given for mammals. So mammals are the animals that have external ear and body hair. So we are also mammals and we have an external ear and we have a body hair. So likewise, every one category is given a name taxa. So this taxonomy is classified based on external and internal structure along with the structure of cell, development process and ecological information of organism are essential for this characteristic. And a very important point come here. What are the basis to taxonomy? What are the basis to taxonomy? Four things are the basis to taxonomy: characterization, identification, classification and nomenclature. Okay, you have to remember this. We are interested in classifying the organism from our earlier period. So at the starting we don't have any scientific classification. Earlier classification were based on the uses of various organism, that the organism which is used for food is given a category, The organism which is used for shelter is given another category. Likewise, we classify on the basis of our uses. And now, systematics is a new branch that deals with systematic arrangement of organism. It is a Latin word from systema. And here, Linnaeus used Systema Naturae as the title of his publication, in which he tells about systematics. Next, we'll go to third topic, taxonomic categories. What is taxonomic category? So we see many things like dog, mammal, animals. So these are all taxonomic categories or taxon or a rank. Okay, and classification is not a single step process. Okay, this is a stepwise process. There is a hierarchy. So each of the category is known as taxonomic categories, and totally it is known as taxonomic hierarchy. So each category is referred to as unit of classification. Each category, there are 7 categories. We will come to know later in this video. Each of this category is known as unit of classification. Those categories are kingdom, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus, species. So all these 7 are unit of classification, and basic unit of classification is species. There are two different terms. Unit of classification is all the 7 categories, and basic unit of classification is species. First we will see about the lowest taxonomic category, species. So we classify species using distinct morphological differences. Each one is a species. Human is a species. Potato is a species. By just seeing the external features, we separate organism, right? That is species. And here is a point that many of us will miss. Each genus may have one or more than one specific epithet representing different organism. Here they mean that in a genus there will be many species, but it is not necessary that a genus should contain many species. A genus may also have one species. Okay, genus comprise a group of related species which have more characters in common. Okay, a group of species will make genus, a group of genus will make family, a group of family will make order, a group of order will make class, a group of class will make phylum in animalia, and division in plant, and together they make kingdom. So these pages have some examples which are as important as this table 1.1. So I have written it in a simplified manner for you. Let me show this. Taxonomic categories: Solanum tuberosum, Solanum nigrum, Solanum melogena. So in one genus Solanum we have 3 species. Okay, and then Solanum and Datura petunia. These put together they make one family, Solanaceae. Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae, they form polymonials. Polymonials come under dicot, and dicot form angiosperm, and angiosperm is in the kingdom Plantae. The second one, Panthera leo, Panthera paradis, Panthera tigris. So Panthera along with Felis and Canis, they form Felidae. Felidae is like cat family. Okay. Canidae. Canidae is dog family. These two put together they form Carnivora. Carnivora along with Primata. Primata consist of monkey, gorilla, gibbon. They form Mammalia. Mammalia will form Chordata, and Chordata will form Animalia. So in Chordata along with Mammalia, what are the things it will come? Mammalia, amphibian, reptiles, aves. These all makes up Chordata. Okay. You will note 2 different arrow marks done. In the first one, I have made a upper arrow mark. Here it is in ascending order because we go from smallest species to Plantae, a big one. So it is in ascending order, and in the second one we come from a big one to a small one. So this is in descending order. Okay, so that is given in this page. Wait, here taxonomic category showing hierarchical arrangement in ascending order. See, the arrow marks grow from species to genus, genus to family, family to order, order to class, class to phylum or division, and phylum or division to kingdom. We go higher from species to kingdom the number of common characteristics goes on decreasing. So if we take an example of us, human being, dog, a housefly, we all are different in all the characteristics, but we all come under the same kingdom animalia. So the common characteristic keeps on decreasing. Okay, this table is truly important. You have to go through it and you have to mug up it. Let's move to next topic, taxonomical aid. So we need taxonomical aids for agriculture, forestry, industry, and in knowing our bioresource and their diversity. We need taxonomical aids for identification and characterization. Okay, first we will see herbarium. So, herbarium is a storehouse of plant. Only plant specimens will be there. Okay, note that point. That are dried, pressed, and preserved. They are dried, pressed, and preserved. And these sheets, you know, these sheets are arranged in universally accepted system of classification. This is a storehouse for future use. And that sheet na, herbarium sheet, will contain information like date and place of collection, English and local names, botanical names, family and collector names. So this is also an important point. There may be question from this point. And herbarium is a quick referral system in taxonomical studies. The second one is botanical garden. This is also only for plants, and here we have living plants. Okay, in this also we will label the botanical or scientific name along with its family. So the famous botanical garden are at Kew, England, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, India, and at National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, India. So these three you have to keep it in your mind. Third one is museum. In our biology lab, we would have noted plants and animals that are kept in formalin solution in a glass jar. So they are containers or jars in which specimens are preserved. So insects are collected, killed and pinned. So collecting, killing and pinning them. And big, large animals, birds and mammals are usually stuffed and preserved. And they also have a skeleton of animals too. In our biology lab also, we will have skeletons of human beings for better understanding. Next, we will move on to zoological park. Zoological parks, we keep animals in a protected environment in their true surrounding. We tend to keep the surrounding similar to their natural habitat. And next is fifth one, key. So key is based on contrasting characters, generally in a pair called couplet. Okay, they have contrasting characters. So the pair is known as couplet, and each statement in the key is known as lead. Okay, this is analytical in nature. This is a point you have to remember. They are analytical in nature. So many of us will go through these 5 points and we miss out this paragraph, but this is very important. Here are three more taxonomical aids: flora, manuals, and monographs. So, flora contains the actual account of habitat and distribution of plants. This is index of the plant species found in an area. Manual, for identification of name of species, we use manual, and monograph to it contain information of any one taxon. I usually get confused between monograph and manual. So you can keep a keyword like manual. We use it for some identification, like attendance we use, right? In attendance we have only names. So like that, manuals will have only names of the species, and monograph will have information about any one taxon. This we have come to the end of the lesson. Please read the summary too. So if you like my channel, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. If you like this video, please hit on the like button. Share with your friends. Okay? Stay connected to Biology 360. Thank you.